Hi everyone, welcome back to the Elden Ring 100% walkthrough where we're playing as a Death Mage. Are very close, just a few episodes away from the conversion to Mage. We picked Vagabond as our starting class so that we would be able to wield the Death Poker without having to... It was slightly more attribute efficient, let's put it that way. So we're still swinging our sword, but very soon this will change. So, remember that we, in the last episode, Dee put this mark on our map to deliver the Deathroot that we got from killing the Tibia Mariner to someone called Garranq. So we're going to do that now. You could say travel to another location. Now be very careful when you spawn here. That is a full-blown boss right there. Do not run into it. Instead, run forward. And you can open the doors to the Bestial Sanctum, which is where Garranq is. We're going to touch the grace here. And we're going to come up and talk to Garranq. You can hand over the Deathroot to him.
I smell it. Death feeding me. Tarnished. Bring more death. I shall grant thee. Eye and claw feed me more.
So that gives us a seal called the Clawmark seal. And an object called the Beast Eye. From now on, anytime we're close to a Deathroot, this Beast Eye is going to quiver. We're going to see a message that says that it quivers, and that's how we know that we're near a Deathroot. The Clawmark seal, remember seals are how you cast incantations. They're similar to staves for mages. This one has scaling with strength and faith. So this might be a time to talk a little bit about scaling as we're getting into weapon stuff. All weapons and seals and staves and stuff like that scale with particular attributes. They typically start off scaling quite badly with attributes, and as you level them up with smithing stones, in an earlier episode, remember we talked about how you upgrade weapons by spending these smithing stones to raise them from... Normal weapons go from +1 to +25, and the special weapons go from +1 to +10. And the scaling of the weapon can improve as well. And at the start of the game like this, you really only want to concern yourself with damage stats. You only really want to raise them high enough to meet the minimum requirements, typically, because initially the weapons you have, in most cases, there are some exceptions, which I'll cover as we get to them, but for the most part, weapons scale really badly, so it's not worth pumping the damage attributes until you've raised the weapon enough that the scaling will actually matter. Instead, focus on things like vigor and endurance, things like that. Mostly vigor early on. So you can see this one scales equally with strength and faith. If you are playing that strength faith build, like you started with, say, a confessor, then this is your seal that you'll use all the way through. So now it's time. I'm gonna go over here. And Melina's gonna come to us because we entered Caelid when we rested here.
Forgive me. I've been testing you to determine if the Elden Ring would truly have you. If you had the mettle to endure this long and arduous path. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very start, whereas I merely pretended. There is but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Roundtable Hold, gathering place of Tarnished champions, guided by grace. Very well.
So we're going to go to the Roundtable Hold.
Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
So Roundtable Hold is your main hub where all the NPCs hang out. So it actually talks about this is where the Tarnished all gather. To access it, you can go all the way down here. When you bring up a map, this is a thing to remember. If you hit triangle, that lists sites of grace. if you triangle, square, you'll get there. Just like that.
Oh, I see you've just arrived. Welcome to the Roundtable Hold. I'm Corin, a man of the cloth. I teach incantations, the strength granted us by the Two Fingers, and explore the secrets of the Golden Order, so that one day, if a Tarnished of the Roundtable Hold should become Elden Lord, I might counsel them, ensuring order regains its proper form, righting rule over men. By the way, do you still see it? The guidance of grace.
Tell him you do still see it.
You do? Wonderful news. Most Tarnished are blind to it these days. You are something of a rare breed. Well, what do you say? Care to learn an incantation of the Two Fingers?
So this guy teaches some incantations that can be used. If you played like Confessor, you would have started off with stuff like one of the heals. There's also stuff that busts your weapons, you know, with various abilities. Because we haven't really raised our Enter faith yet, I'm not going to worry about buying stuff yet.
May the Golden Order shine through you.
Now, I talked about how we're playing Int Faith. We're going to play a Death Sorcerer, sort of a Death Mage. In addition to Death Sorceries...
You've met Garranq, I take it. Then, owing to our duties shared, we are now comrades in arms. I think you've earned this. The power of the Golden Order to aid the hunt of those who live in death.
So, Golden Order incantations actually are Int Faith based. So you can see that. We're not going to worry about them yet, because again, we haven't talked to these attributes, but this guy sells those.
I serve the Golden Order, that I might put this crooked land to rights, following only the guidance of the Great Elden Ring. Those who live in death fall outside the principles of the Golden Order. Their mere existence sullies the guidance of gold, tainting its truth, and so it is the vermin must be exterminated. Down to the very last.
Ah, hello. You must be new here. Well, just call me Dialos. The honor of one's house holds little import in these lands. By the way, have you met a young woman named Lanya on your travels? She's my servant, but fickle as the wind. Take your eyes off her for but a moment and she's good as gone. If you find her, please be sure to tell me. Be sure to tell me if you meet a young woman named Lanya. She's a servant to my house. She's been my companion since childhood. I've lost count of the number of times I've had to find her like this. Honestly, she's such a little tomboy.
The Colosseum is a place that you can duel other players. You can enter from there.
Oh, this is a rare occasion. I can't remember the last time a new Tarnished made their way to the Round Table. Very well. As your senior, I bid you welcome. It is safe here. You may let down your guard. Allow me a word of advice. As your senior, you are a mere visitor to the Round Table. Nothing more. A house guest. Yet to earn their keep. Remember your place, newcomer.
So we don't have any respect yet. So we haven't taken out any bosses. We will eventually be able to go here, but for now we can't. Up here. If you look down, you should be alarmed, because look at the 3,000 bloodstains on the floor. That is a battle that you fight against an invader. We're going to get a few more levels before we do that. There will also be an NPC that will appear here eventually. So here's our blacksmith.
You're a new face. No matter. It's all the same. Lay out your arms. Let's get smithing. I see you've noticed the chains. Nothing special. I'm a prisoner and these are my chains. I'm trapped by the hold. I'm dying, smithing for you fools. That's all there is to it. No, don't read too much into it. I've no grudge against you. My being a prisoner is no fault of yours. Besides, I don't mind smithing. Despite my differences, the weapons get stronger all the same. Given time, technique never fails. Besides, it helps me forget the sheer terror of her.
So he can strengthen armaments. You can use smithing stones to do that. For now, we're not going to worry about that. But that is how you do it. We're going to get weapons later on that we want to stick with. Early on, you know, these are valuable resources, so you want to be careful about what you upgrade. Now, talking about Ashes of War, I did mention that the Morning Star, which we are capable of using, we could actually put Sacred Blade on it. You can actually leave it, you know, with Sacred Blade, but leave it scaling with Strength and Dex, which is better for us right now. If we wanted to, we could duplicate the... Oh, we don't actually have any Lost Ashes of War yet, but if you get those, you can duplicate an Ash of War. One that you might find yourself duplicating is No Skill, just to be able to, say, put something on multiple shields or on a torch as well. This here is where you can change your appearance. You can basically come in here and redo it if you weren't happy with how you looked. And there's also someone to talk to here, Fia.
Greetings, great champion called by grace. I am Fia. Circumstances have compelled my stay at the Roundtable Hold. Great champion, would you allow me to hold you? But briefly, perhaps you might share with me some of your lively vigor and your stout-heartedness. Doing so will grant me the warmth of a champion, and you, I am sure, will bear a Baldakin's blessing. Do you think it vulgar, perhaps? Where I come from, it is a sacred act.
So let her hold you.
My thanks, great champion.
And then get trapped in the longest, slowest animation ever.
You are very warm. What you felt light up inside you was a Baldakin's blessing. Though it is but a fleeting thing, I am afraid. Come back to me. Should you require another, I will take you in my arms as often as you need.
So this Baldakin blessing, it actually, while you have it in your inventory, it lowers your total health. So it sucks. And I can't tell you how many games I've played, playthroughs where I've had this stupid thing in my inventory and forgotten that it was there. So what you want to do is, if you use it, it'll increase your poise, which will make you harder to stagger, just for a little while. You can see how it looks. But getting it out of your inventory you want to do, right, because you want your health to not be hurt.
I am pleased to see you again. Would you like me to hold you once more? Now,
So let her hold you again. You should be able to talk in secret. It's the goofiest animation. When you're in that full armor.
Very warm.
So now talk in secret.
As a deathbed companion. Where I come from, after I received the warmth and lively vigor from a number of champions, I lay with the remains of an exalted noble. To grant him another chance at life, to do so is the purpose of my being. But before I could bear the noble into new life, I was awakened by the guidance of grace and chased from my birthplace. Pray, be kind. Despite all that, I still wish to be a deathbed companion. So please, Let me hold you like this, as often as it takes. Then good day to you.
I remember we got another Baldakan blessing. I'm mainly saying this out loud for my own benefit, because I am stupid enough to run around for an entire playthrough with this thing. I think in one of the other walkthroughs I did of Elden Ring, I really did leave it in my inventory for, like, ages. Alright. The door there is shut and will open later. This is the floor where if we were to jump off from the balcony above, we would end up out there. You can't actually get through this way. So this is a stone sword key. There's a crossbow in there, and a second stone sword key door, if you go through there, gets you a book that gives more incantations, some assassin incantations. This is totally not worth getting or worrying about right now, because we don't really have stone sword keys, and they're precious right now to us, so we're not going to waste any on that. But just letting you know what's there so you can make your own decision. So now we're going to go across and go this way. Gideon, the old guy who greeted us and was rude to us out there, will eventually move into his study in here, which is shut. This guy is Incha. He doesn't talk. Just is rude to us and says, "What do you want?" Now here we have the merchant of Roundtable Hold. Now I talked about before, remember I said you could optionally kill the nomadic merchants and bring their bells to this person, and then that would centralize the place where you could purchase everything. So if that appeals to you, you could do that. You could murder all the merchants. There's no real downside to it other than maybe dying trying to kill them. I'm being kind and not doing that because I don't really mind going and finding them and buying things from them. But you'll see there are a lot of things to buy from this person. There's a memory stone, which is an immediate buy to get another spell slot. So that gives us 3 spell slots, up from 2. There's stone sword keys that we're going to want to buy. This armor is very, very good. This knight armor. So that's something to consider, especially if you started as a class like Astrologer with really bad armor. You could actually get this better armor if you wanted. But then you'll have to also take the time to raise your endurance to be able to wear it. And it's pretty expensive too in terms of how many runes. But we're going to show you a rune farming technique here soon. And then there's going to be a NPC we don't like in there eventually, but we'll have to talk to. That door will open up eventually. So I think that covers all around Roundtable Hold. Now, if you were to go to we've been to Limgrave and we've teleported to Caelid. If you do manage to get to Liurnia, and I'll talk about the point where you could get to Liurnia, Roderika would actually come to Roundtable Hold, but doing that is equivalent to kind of failing her questline. You don't get to see the reason that she would have come to Roundtable Hold legitimately. It just kind of auto-completes the quest and brings her here. And because we're doing a walkthrough where we don't want to miss lore interactions, we're going to make sure not to go to Liurnia. So that does prevent us from being as powerful as we could be. Like, there are walkthroughs that will give you a slightly, quicker start in terms of grabbing smithing stones and things because they're willing to jump right to Liurnia and just don't care about the lore. But again, this walkthrough is trying to show you all the dialogue. You notice I'm not skipping the dialogue. I'm trying to let you see that. So that's part of what I think the appeal of this walkthrough is, in case you missed all of those things when you played, or you just want to make sure that as you play through, you don't miss it. So that's what I'm going for with this. So let's see. I wanted to equip this and then see how bad. See if I fat roll with it. We don't. That's excellent. Okay. So that gives us the Sacred Blade when we need it, when we're up against like skeletons. And I think that this is actually, we're at the 20-minute mark, so this is where we'll actually stop. Let's oh, I didn't mention this. Let's talk about this. This is actually a site of grace, essentially, the table. You can rest. It's all just like, you would do at a site of grace. Now, what I was going to do is very quickly get us something that'll prep us for next episode. So we're going to go over to Agil Lake North. And also we want to make sure that it is not nighttime, because as a reminder, the horse guy on the bridge, we're all good, it's still daytime. The horse guy on the bridge turns into an actual boss. So we're going to go up to, like, here-ish, because we're going to get an item called a Gold-Pickled Fowl foot. And this actually boosts your rune acquisition as you kill things. And there is a very old sort of dying dragon that you can actually kill in Caelid that gives you a huge number of runes and lets us gain a bunch of levels. And we want to have the Gold-Pickled Fowl foot so that we can pop that. Not sure why it suddenly talked about that. Maybe because I got the Clawmark seal. It's weird that it talked about it as I crossed this bridge. What an odd time for that to pop up. So anyway, we're gonna... should see this sort of a crucifix up here. And that's our foul foot. I think there's actually like a little lore interaction up here too, if I remember correctly, like a ghost you could talk to. Yeah. Try to talk to all the ghosts when I remember to find them. So, alright. They were determined not to leave me alone. So, from here... Oh, I still got one more hanging back. It's ridiculous. Oh, here, I'll show you Sacred Blade here. So, what it does is shoots a ray, but then it also stays buffed with additional holy damage for a while. So this is, you can, when you're fighting skeletons, you can shoot the ray, and then you can just start doing normal swings, and this buffed holy damage will cause the undead to not be able to respawn. So it's really good Ash, situational Ash of War. Okay, so that's it for this episode. We're going to begin the next one up here in Caelid. You can see we're way off in the corner. We're going to actually do a few things. There's some golden seeds we can race through and get. This is a very high level area, so don't be alarmed if, you know, you die. It's okay. It's pretty high level, and we're going to be racing past some scary stuff, and some of that stuff might get us. But we will cover all of that in the next episode. So until next time.